Very good morning to one and all. Welcome to Civics class. In the Civics class, we are in this revision 2. Today is 12th Feb 2021. So, we are going to see the next chapter in a gifted form. Chapter number 6, Rural Administration. So, chapter number 6 is speaking about the administration of the rural area. In the topic of revision, we are going to revise the whole chapter, and I am going to tell you about how the question will be appear in the examination. And in this topic of revision, we are going to see a quarrel in the village, that means the dispute between the two peoples and what was the story, the area of the police station, then the maintenance of the land record, and the last topic, how the new law is helping to the both male and female. Moving further, there are more than 6 lakh villages in India. Taking care of their needs of water, electricity, road connection is not a small task. In addition to this, the land record have to be maintained and conflict need to be dealt with. A large machinery is in a place to deal with all. In this chapter, we will look at the work of two rural administrative officers in some detail. So what are they? We are going to see the story of Patwari or Tehsildar or the work of the police or so on. So let's check out quickly. This chapter already in my regular video we had finished very nicely. Number of the question and doubts and difficulty already I shot it out. Now let's go to see what's in this chapter is given. So the dispute between the two people. So a quarrel in the village. Mohan is a farmer. Again you are recapitulating the story of Mohan. Again I am revising it. So the dispute between the Mohan and Raghu. Mohan is a farmer. His family owns a small agriculture field which they had been farming from many years. Next to his field is Raghu's land, which is separated from his land a small boundary called Ban. What is Ban? That's a dividation of the two agricultural land. On that the grasses are there. Those who belongs to agriculture background, they are knowing about what is the meaning of Ban. Next, one morning, Mohan is noticing that Raghu did something. So what was that? Raghu shifted the buns by few feet. By doing so, he had managed to take over some of the Mohan's land and increase the size of his own land. So Mohan was angry by seeing all this thing and little frightened because Raghu's family owned many fields, and beside his uncle was also the sarpanch of the family. Although this also, he plucked up the courage and went to Raghu's house. A heated argument followed, and there was a conflict started between the two peoples, and it resulted into the fighting between the two peoples. Mohan was shouting and beating her. He called one of his helper and they began shouting at Mohan and beating him. So Raghu did all this. Next, the neighbors, they heard that after listening the quarrel and disputes, they rushed towards the spot, and Mohan was being beaten up. They took him away and he was badly hurt on his head and hand. He was given first aid by one of the neighbors. His friend, who also ran to the village post office, suggested that they go to the local police station and file a report. There was a doubt also in their mind because it's going to be a waste of money and nothing going to be come out, because Raghu's family would have already contacted the police station. After much discussion, it was decided that Mohan would go to the police station along with some of the neighbors who had seen the incident. So dear children, you are observing here the dispute and the conflict happened between the two people. Who is doing the wrong thing to whom? And after that, how the people are manipulating the thing, they are having the fear in the mind. The gap between the rich and the poor we can see here. Next, area of the police station. So, on the way to the police station, one of the neighbor asked, "Why don't we spend some more money and go to the main police station in the town? It is not a question of money. We can register the case only in the police station because our village comes in its area of work." Explained by Mohan. Every police station has an area that comes under its control. All persons in that area can report the cases or inform the police about any theft, accident, injury, fight, etc. It is the responsibility of the police of that station to inquire, to investigate and take the action on the case within its area. So here it's clear to you everyone that area of the police station, how they works and what's the story of Mohan moves forward. Let's see. The work at the police station. Next we are going to see, after reaching to the police station, what is the job of the police and how Mohan managed to affair. When they reached the police station, Mohan went to the person in charge, that's the station house officer, SHO. This can be asked in the examination for 1 mark. Write the full form of SHO. So you have to write station house officer, otherwise it can be asked in the MCQ. And told him what has happened. So after listening on that, they rudely brushed him aside, saying that he couldn't be bothered to waste his time writing down minor complaints and then investigate them. But Mohan showed him his injuries, but the SHO did not believe him. Mohan was puzzled and did not know what to do next. Then what was happened next? He was not sure why his complaint was not being recorded. He went and called his neighbor into the office. They argued strongly that the Mohan had beaten up in front of them and they rescued him. So after that, finally the officer agreed and returned the complaint against him, and also told him that he would send a constable the next day to investigate the incident. Then the maintenance of the land record. You saw that the Mohan and Raghu were arguing heatedly whether the common boundary of their field has been shifted. Isn't there why there is any land record which mention about that Mohan is having that much land piece or other? So that's the job of Patwari. So measuring land and keeping land record is the main work of Patwari. So Patwari used to do that. The Patwari is also known by the other name or different name at the different villages, just like Lekpal or Kongo or Kamachari or village officer. We will refer to this officer as Patwari in this chapter, and each Patwari is responsible for a group of villages. The Patwari maintain and update the record of the village. The map and corresponding detail from the register on the next page are a small part of the record that kept by Patwari. In the upcoming slide, I am going to show you that. The Patwari usually has ways of measuring agriculture field. In some places, a long chain is used. In the above incident, the Patwari would have measured both Mohan's and Raghu's field and compared them with the measurement on the map. If they do not match, then it would be clear that the boundary of the field has been changed. So this is the example of that. Please see it carefully. Those who are having the textbook, they can go to the textbook, page number 52, and you can see this. Moving further, the Patwari is also responsible for organizing the collection of land revenue from the farmer and providing information to the government about the crops grown in that area. Next, this is done for the record that are kept, and this is why it's important for Patwari to regularly update this. The farmer may change the crop grown on the field, or someone may dig a well somewhere. So keeping track of all this work of the revenue department of the government. Senior people in this department supervise the Patwari's work. All the states in India are divided into districts. For managing matter related to the land, these districts are further divided into the subdivision of district are known by the names of Tehsil or Taluka. A head of this district collector and under her the revenue officer are called as Tehsildar. And they have to hear dispute. They also supervise the work of Patwari and also ensure that the land records should be kept properly and the revenue should be collected properly. So here we are seeing the work of Patwari as well as the work of Tehsildar. They may show that the farmer can easily obtain a copy of record. Student can obtain their caste certificates from there. So from the Tehsildar, already you are knowing about the caste certificate from where to get. The Tehsildar's officer is where the land disputes are also heard. Next, a new law. So what is the new law? Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. Often when we think of farmer who own the land, we think of men. Women are seen as a people who work on the field, but not as a people who own the agricultural land. Till recently, in some states, Hindu women did not get a share in their family agricultural land. After the death of the father, this property was divided equally among the sons. Recently, the new law is passed on, and the new law changed. In the new law, son, daughter, and their mother can get an equal share in the land. The same law will applicable to all state and union territory of the country. And that's why the new law gives the opportunity to the both son and daughter to share the equal land piece from the fathers. This law will benefit a large number of women. For example, Sudha is the eldest daughter of an agricultural family. So here we are going to see about the example of Sudha. She is married and lives in a neighboring village. After her father's death, Sudha often comes to help her mother with the farming work. Her mother has asked the Patwari to transfer the land and enter her name along with the name of all the children in his record. Sudha's mother confidently organized the farming with the help of the younger brother and sister. Similarly, Sudha also lives with the assured that if ever she will have any problem in future, so she can live with the share of land which she is having. So then after she don't want anything, so she can depend upon her share of the land. After this all the discussion, we are moving in the phrase to discuss about the question answer. So the question number 1 is for you is here. First, what is the work of police? After reading this chapter, you can understand about the work of the police, as we have seen in the story of the conflict between the dispute between the fighting between the Raghu and Mohan. What is the role of police? When the Mohan is reaching at the police station, what was happening? So by seeing this all, you can understand about the work of police and how the police is managing all this work. Let's check out the answer. Next, the answer is speaking to you. The work of the police. The points are stated here. First, maintain law and order in its area. Next, to register cases of stealing or theft or accident, injuries and fight or etc. Third, inquire, investigate and take action on the case within its area. Though 5 points can be divided from these 3. To maintain law, it can be there to maintain order in its area, to register cases, and 1, 2, 3 you can place it, to inquire, investigate and to take care on the cases within its area. So the area is important. Then the police can work upon with it. So the work of the police, in that way you can write the answer. Those who have already written, no need of that. Just we are revising the question and discussing its answer. Next question. Question number 2. List 2 things that the work of Patwari include. So here the question is asking to you the 2 job the Patwari used to do. So the answer is here. Patwari measures land and keeps the land record. So that's a work of Patwari. He also organized the collection of land revenue from the farmer and provide the information to the government about the crop grown in that area. So by this you can write 3 points also. If it is going to be asked 5 points, you can make it short. Measure the land. Then second point, keep the land record. Then third, he organized the collection of land revenue from the farmers, then provide the information to the government about the different crops and supervise the area and the lands. Moving toward the next question. What is the work of Tehsildar? So here we are going to see the work of Tehsildar. Let's check out the answer. Work of Tehsildar. So we are having here 3 points. First one, to supervise the work of Patwari is the work of Tehsildar. To settle the dispute regarding the land between the people. The next, to get revenue collected. That means finally overall he used to supervise, or he or she used to supervise the work of Patwari to settle down the dispute regarding the land and to get the revenue collected. So these are the work done by Tehsildar. You can place it about that. The caste certificate can also be taken from Tehsildar, as we had discussed in the previous slides. Moving to our next question. This is the poem which speaks about that the daughter is wishing that she should also have the equal share in the land of the father. Question number 4. What issue is the poem trying to raise? So the raising point is about that the equal sharing, as I stated it. Do you think is an important issue and why? So what the daughter is wishing. Next, I hope so you read this. Moving further, what issue is raised here? Let's check out the answer. The poem raised the issue of rights for a girl child. A girl should be treated equally in society. She should be given the same right as a male child is given. Right? And that's the point. No dowry system should be there. Other foolish things should be stopped. This poem raises a very justified issue. That means the equality between a girl child and a boy child. Fifth, in what ways are the work of Panchayat that you have read about in the previous chapter and the work of the Patwari related to each other? So, it's a simple point. Panchayat provides for facilities in village and Patwari arranges the money to get the facilities worked out and executed. Who is in charge of all the police station in a district? So, Let's check out the answer. That's a superintendent of the police is the in charge of all the police station in a district. Then how do women benefits under the new law? That's a story related to Sudha. Okay, they can also have the equal share. So these are the optional one. You can just read it and frame your answer in your mind. No need to write. Lastly, I want to thank to each and everyone for watching the video. Do the revision very properly.